love of learning, love of learners, and the love of bringing the first two loves together. The art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery. Education doesn't just make us smarter, it makes us whole. Teaching kids to count is fine, but teaching them what counts is best. I am indebted to my father for living, but to my teacher for living well. A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. I like a teacher who gives you something to take home to think about besides homework. I have learned silence from the talkative, toleration from the intolerant, and kindness from the unkind. Yet, strange, I am ungrateful to those teachers. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. A teacher who is attempting to teach without inspiring the pupil with a desire to learn is hammering on cold iron. Good teachers know how to bring out the best in students. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Change is the end result of all true learning. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. The learning process continues until the day you die. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. They know enough who know how to learn. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. They cannot stop me. I will get my education if it is in the home, school, or any place. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. He who opens a school door closes a prison. Education is the ability to meet life situations. Learning starts with failure. The first failure is the beginning of education. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Education consists mainly of what we have unlearned. If you have to put someone on a pedestal, put teachers. They are society's heroes. The duties of a teacher are neither few nor small, but they elevate the mind and give energy to the character. The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. Your heart is slightly bigger than the average human heart, but that's because you're a teacher. Teachers can change lives with just the right mix of chalk and challenges. Teaching is the greatest act of optimism. One child, one teacher.
Good evening, everybody. Could you please confirm if I'm audible?
Audible.
All right, thank you. Thank you all for registering and attending this one-week national level online faculty development program on outcome-based education and essential AI tools for teachers. This is organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC of Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College Autonomous, Rahara, Kolkata, in association with the Department of Mathematics, Chaudhary Charan Singh University, Meerut, and co-hosted by IPSR Solutions Limited. We would like to welcome Professor Dr. Sangeeta Shukla, Vice Chancellor, 𝐂CS University, Meerut, Professor Dr. Shivraj Singh, HOD, Department of Mathematics, 𝐂CS University, Meerut, Swami Kamalathananda Ramakrishna Mission and Vivekananda Centenary College, Rahara, Kolkata, Swami Vedanuragananda, Controller of Examinations, 𝐅𝐾𝐬𝐵CC, Dr. Mendes Jacob, Professor and Director, MCA Marine College, Kutikanam Autonomous, CEO, IPSR Solutions Limited, alumnus of 𝐶CS University, Dr. P.K. Mehta, IQAC Coordinator, 𝐅𝐾𝐬𝐵CC, Dr. Sunil Job, Adjunct Faculty, Marine College, Kutikanam Autonomous, Chief of Academics, IPSR Solutions Limited, alumnus of 𝐶CS University, who will be a resource person today. Dr. Suresh Nambudri, Director, SPI Technologies, Pune, who will also be a resource person in the coming days. And we would like to welcome all the FDP resource persons, managers, directors, principals, vice principals, representatives from management, HODs, IQAC coordinators, and all faculty members. Now, a few things about this FDP. This is a one-week FDP program. The FDP sessions will be from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We expect you to be present on all the days. Now, fee for the LMS access and processing of certificate is ₹500. All the participants who have paid the processing fee will receive the LMS access, the video recording for all the days, and the provision to download your FDP completion certificate. The procedure for receiving the certificate will be informed to you towards the end of the FDP. If any of you are yet to make the payment, please make the payment of ₹500 to the account details I will put in the chat shortly. If you are unable to attend any of the live sessions, they will be available in the LMS. We have shared the LMS access details through email to those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp till yesterday. Those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp today will receive the LMS access details later in the day or by tomorrow only. If you have any difficulty in transferring the amount due to bank server error, you can try later tomorrow, early morning, to try and make the payment. If you have any trouble in attending the WebEx online session, you could also join the live session, the link of which I will put in the chat now. Okay, if you have difficulty in the WebEx session, you can use this YouTube live link. My name is 𝐬𝐧𝐥𝐢𝐳𝐷, working as Global Relations Manager with IPSR Solutions Limited, and I will be the event moderator. Now, about few introductions. Now, introducing Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College Autonomous, Rahara, Kolkata. The Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College is an integral part and unit of the educational complex, which is owned and managed by the Ramakrishna Mission. The foundation stone of the college was laid by Srimad Swami Veereswaraji Maharaj, the then General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Mission on 3rd September 1961, and the college started functioning in July 1963. The college was established with a view to commemorating the first birth centenary of Swami Vivekananda, the illustrious patron saint of India, and with a view to imparting a general education on a religious background in the light of the teachings of Ramakrishna Vivekananda, so that the young peoples may get ample opportunity to build up their character, to make themselves useful to their families, and to fulfill at the same time the basic obligation to the country. The college was established and is being maintained and administered by the Ramakrishna Mission. Now coming to Chaudhary Charan Singh University, Meerut. Chaudhary Charan Singh University, formerly was Meerut University, was established in 1965 To cater to the needs of higher education in Western Uttar Pradesh, the university celebrated its silver jubilee in 1991. Initially, the MPhil and PhD programs were started in 1969, taking credit of becoming the first university in the country to introduce MPhil program. In 1973, postgraduate level courses were also introduced with a modernized syllabi. Since then, the university has been progressing at a steady rate during the 5-year plan of introducing of self-finance courses, keeping in pace with the changing demands of the society, and also for human resources development were planned. Now there are 5 faculties with 22 UGC sponsored and 35 self-financed job-oriented courses being run in the campus. 252 professional colleges, institutions, 109 colleges, and 1 constituent college are affiliated to Chaudhary Charan Singh University. The university has always been proud of its alumni who have positions of great responsibilities and distinction in education and research institutions in India and abroad, as well as administrative positions in industries, defense, and civil services. The success of the students of the universities in NET, GATE, ARS, GRE, and other examinations such as civil and administrative services, etc., speak of the standard and quality of education provided by the university. The research activities of the various departments of the university are supported by grants in the form of research projects sanctioned by UGC, DBT, DST, ICAR, AICTE, UPSTC, CSIR, and other funding agencies of the central and state government. Now coming to IPSR. IPSR is led by a team of academicians and entrepreneurs. IPSR is a public limited company with 25 years of expertise in software product development, training services, and placement services. During the past 2 decades, IPSR has worked with over 500 academic organizations, including universities, autonomous colleges, technical, non-technical institutions, etc., and guided more than 1 lakh candidates into ITES professionals. IPSR's corporate headquarters is in Kottayam, Kerala, and IPSR has branches in Kochi, Kozhikode, City, and UL Cyber Park and Bangalore. IPSR also established subsidiary companies in the United Kingdom, USA, and Canada. IPSR provides services for the entire spectrum of information technology, ranging from the training services to IT corporate consultancy. The learning services divisions of IPSR provides job-oriented courses, international certifications, corporate trainings, faculty development programs, add-on courses, seminars, workshops, etc. in the IT and ITES domain. IPSR training is the training partner for the technical education quality improvement program, Tech IP, a World Bank assisted project executed in government engineering colleges by the Indian Ministry of HRD. IPSR is the world's leading Red Hat training and certification partner with 37 national and international awards and produced the highest number of Red Hat professionals in the world. So far, IPSR has trained candidates from 50+ countries. The IT services division of IPSR is a pioneer in development of academic solution products, incorporating cutting-edge technologies like artificial intelligence. IPSR offers specialized services and solutions for the education sector, ranging from simple website to complex software applications that help to manage academic and operational activities like question paper generation, accreditation processes, OBE, outcome-based education, etc. The placement services division has 1,500+ placement companies, including MNCs like Amazon, Red Hat, Nissan Digital, TCS, University Global, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, etc., and conducts recruitment on all days, a job a day. Now, if it is possible, could you all turn on your videos so that we would like to take a screenshot for our documentation purpose. Yes, could you please turn on your videos for a short period so that we can take the screenshot? We would like to keep that for our documentation purpose. All right, thank you very much. Now let's move on to the. Yeah, you can turn off your videos now. All right, now let's move on to the introduction. We will move on to the first session, that is our welcome speech. The welcome speech will be delivered by Swami Vedananda, who is the controller of examinations, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Autonomous. Now, Swami Vedananda is a monk of the Ramakrishna Mission. He has pursued his undergraduate studies in zoology from Presidency College, Kolkata, postgraduate studies in biophysics and molecular biology from the University of Calcutta, and his PhD from Assam University, Silchar. Swami Vedananda has a teaching experience of about 12 years at Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Lahara, an autonomous college accredited by NAC with grade A++. For the last 6 years, Swami Vedananda is a controller of examination of Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Lahara. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone present over here. Respected Professor Sangeeta Shukla, Madam Vice Chancellor, 𝐂𝐶S University, Meerut. Professor Dr. Shivraj Singh, Head of the Department of Mathematics, 𝐂𝐶S University, Meerut. Revered Swami Kamalasthanandaji Maharaj, Principal, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Lahara. Respected Dr. Pradyut Kumar Medya, Sir, 𝐼QAC Coordinator, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Lahara. Resource persons from IPSR, especially Dr. Mendes Jacob, Dr. Sunil Job, Dr. Jaiman Kuriakos, and all others associated with the IPSR solutions. A very good evening to all of you. On behalf of the Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Lahara, located in Kolkata, I extend a heartfelt welcome to all participants and resource persons to the national level online faculty development program on outcome-based education and essential AI tools for teachers, organized by Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Autonomous, Lahara, Kolkata, in association with the Department of Mathematics, Chaudhary Charan Singh University, Meerut, which is co-hosted by IPSR Solutions. So it is a very great occasion that we have assembled over here to discuss a very pertinent topic when we are standing in a junction of educational journey of human civilization, where we have come to a confluence where we have, on one side, we have the human teaching capacities, and on the other hand, we have the AI tools. So we are standing at a decisive junction, whether and many questions are coming up of how much of AI will intervene with the human teaching potentials, and whether AI will replace the physical presence of the teachers. Will it make things easier? Will it be helpful for the teachers? Will it be more student friendly? Will it be more communicative? So these all questions are coming to the mind, and all of us are here today to participate in a FDP, which will be discussing about the relevance of the relevance and proportions and process of usage of AI tools in outcome-based education. And so this is quite relevant and quite important as far as the updations of the teaching learning process is taking place. The Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College always believes in constant upgradation. It believes in restructuring and remodeling of the education system and the teaching learning process. And according to the need of the age. And itself, the Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College is accredited by NAC by A++ grade, and in NIRF also this year it has ranked 8th in all over India, and it is recognized by CIRO, and it has many other achievements to its credit, and it always believes in sharing sharing this journey towards excellence with all other educational institutes all over India and all over the world. So we are here to organize a workshop, FDP, so that we all become equipped with this modern question of AI tools in education system, in teaching learning process. And so it is high time that we all participate in such discussions, and the LMS system which will be provided by IPSR will also be a great help for all teachers, and it will no doubt be a new light in the new age when we are entering into the NEP system with the 4 years undergraduate courses and various other innovations and modifications. So with these few words, I would again like to extend my heartfelt welcome to all participants and resource persons, and to all members of the Chaudhary Charan Singh University and Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Rahara. So we are all today united into a single unit, a single family, to discuss the future of education as will be designated or dictated or remodeled by the introduction of AI tools. So with these few words, I again welcome all of you, and I hope that it will definitely be very enriching and inspiring, and it will provide us new innovations for our future teaching learning process. Thank you very much, and welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you for those words. We would also like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Jaimala, Professor M.K. Sharma, Dr. Saru Kumari, Dr. Sandeep Kumar as well, who are also of the departments here. Now, we will move on to the next session, that will be the introduction of FDP. This will be delivered by Dr. Mendes Jacob, who is the Professor and Director of MCA, Marine College, Kottakkal Autonomous. He's the CEO of IPSR Solutions Limited, and he's also the alumnus of Chaudhary Charan Singh University. Dr. Mendes Jacob is an academician and an entrepreneur with 35 plus years of experience, and is the former director of School of Applied Mathematics, MG University. He has served as resource person for many national and international seminars, conferences, and a number of faculty development programs, including UGC-sponsored refresher courses. His areas of interest include national education policy, outcome-based education, accreditation, etc. He is associated with many education institutions as chairman, member of various academic bodies. He is also the CEO of IPSR Solutions Limited, an IT company supporting higher education institutions in the implementation of outcome-based education and innovative teachings, learning, and assessment strategies. Over to you, sir.
Evening. Am I audible, Sijin?
Yeah, you're audible.
Evening. Distinguished guests, Professor M.K. Gupta, Professor Jaimala, Professor Shivraj Singh, Professor M.K. Sharma, Dr. Saru Kumari, Dr. Sandeep Kumar of Department of Mathematics, 𝐂CS University, Swami Kamastalanda, the principal, and the team from Vivekananda College, the control of examinations and accuracy coordinator. Esteemed faculty members from all over India, and my respected faculty friends. First of all, I extend a warm welcome to Professor M.K. Gupta, and I'm grateful to you, sir, for the last minute acceptance of inaugurating this FDP in the absence of the Vice Chancellor. On behalf of the entire faculty members who have joined for this FDP, extend a warm welcome to you, sir. It is with immense pride and pleasure that I extend a warm welcome to each of you at this monumental national level faculty development program, a collaborative initiative between 𝐂CS University, Meerut, Vivekananda Centenary College, Kolkata, and IPSR Solutions Limited. As an alumnus of this prestigious institution, the 𝐂CS University, it is deeply gratifying to witness our alma mater spearheading transformative education endeavors. Today's gathering marks not just an academic convergence, but a testament to our collective commitment towards actualizing the goals set forth by the National Education Policy. Our mission resonates with the new education policy's vision of holistic education, skill development, and embracing innovative methodologies. As a resource person and CEO of IPSR Solutions Limited, co-host of this FDP, I'm particularly excited about exploring the profound impact of outcome-based education and the pivotal role of AI tools in empowering educators. This FDP spreads over 6 days, and I will share the schedule. Before going to the schedule, I acknowledge the presence of around 3,000 faculty members who are registered from around 800 plus institutions who are registered for this program. Some of the faculty members, they are attending through YouTube Live, and some others, they could not able to attend this. They will get the recorded videos through LMS so that they can attend it in their convenient time. Around 30% of the content is delivered through live sections of 2 hours daily from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And the remaining 70% through learning management system, which is available for a minimum of 20 days for the paid participants. They can also download the certificates after completing the tasks in the learning management system. The recorded videos are also available through learning management system. In addition to that, they will get a complimentary access to questionpaper.ai, that is an AI platform for assessments. So I will share the schedule and for your information, and the schedule is already available there in the LMS. I hope this is visible.
Yes, your screen is visible, sir.
So this is the day-wise schedule. Today, after the inauguration, there will be a session on learning domains by Dr. Sunil Job. Dr. Sunil Job is also an alumnus of 𝐂CS University. And on day 2, tomorrow, we have the section on architecture of OBE, again by Dr. Sunil Job. And day 3, we have a mapping of outcomes, calculation of attainment, and analytical reports. That will be handled by me only. And day 4 and day 5, we have 2-day session exclusively for ChatGPT and AI tools. And finally, how this implementation of OBE will benefit accreditation, and we will share some useful tools. Again, the road ahead of implementing OBE, what are the processes involved, everything we will explain on the last day. So this is the way the FDP will progress. Okay. Then regarding the LMS, hope the screen is visible now.
Screen is showing your WebEx window. It's not showing LMS.
Okay, I will share once again. It's visible now.
Yes, now it's visible.
So this is the learning management system where you will find a lot of content. All the recorded videos will be there. Some activities will be there. tasks and assignments. Then every day the video will be uploaded. There are some other reference materials, the contents regarding prompt engineering. There are some useful tools, reference materials are available. Then there are some videos related to ChatGPT, which we cannot cover through these online sessions. How you can do prompt engineering for your academic activities and research activities. And finally, you will get the certificate. You can download the certificate. So this is the LMS, and the activities, the task, every day the resource persons will explain so that you can do the task in an easy way. So this is actually a hands-on training, not just an online training. Okay. And regarding the AI application, this also we will explain in detail, maybe on the third day, so that you can create your question papers in less than 5 minutes. I'll just show you one question paper I have created today. You can create MCQs, questions, then you can have short answer questions, and the answer key is also available. And if you want to map the questions with the outcomes, course outcomes, that also is possible. Again, you can preview the question paper so that you can take the printout. It's a preview of the question paper so that you can download it and you can take the printout. So this is useful for the faculty members so that you can reduce your workload. So in less than 5 minutes, you can create a question paper, and that also based on the Bloom's taxonomy levels, the questions will be generated. You can see the Bloom's taxonomy levels will be displayed on the right side. Okay, so this we will explain it probably on the third day so that you can do the task. The other videos and everything is available on the learning management system. Okay, so this is the way the sections will progress. And every day you can have the Q&A sessions after the session. And in between, we have a doubt clearance session in the learning management system so that you can collaborate with each other and you can clear your doubts. You can have we have not only the doubt clearance section, there are some research sections available so that you can input your ideas so that others can comment on it. And other education tools are also available, like there is a tool called Padlet. The videos are available. So you can experiment all these things in your classrooms in future. Okay, so I'm actually grateful to Swami Kamalasthan, the principal of Vivekananda College. And I'm delighted to have the presence of my teacher, Professor M.K. Gupta, who is going to inaugurate this program. My senior, Professor Jayamala, and my classmate, Professor Shivraj Singh, who is the current HOD of our Department of Mathematics, where I did my MPhil and PhD. Thank you for your presence. And together, let us embark this journey of knowledge exploration, collaboration, and transformative learning, shaping the future of education and charting new milestones in the academic brilliance. All the best for the coming days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mendesa. Thank you for that introduction to the FDP. Now we will move on to the inaugural address. The inaugural address will be delivered by Professor M.K. Gupta, who is a senior professor and IQAC director. Now, Professor M.K. Gupta has been teaching in the department since 1991. He is a senior professor. He's received his merit certificate for obtaining first position in MSc Mathematics 1984. Also, he received the Chancellor's Medal for securing highest marks in all subjects in the MPhil. He qualified CSIR JRF NET, UGC JRF NET exam in 1986. He has been consultant editor of the contemporary Who's Who published by American Biographical Institute, USA. He was awarded a PhD in 1998. He has guided 5 students for PhD degree. He has supervised 24 students for MPhil degree. 6 students are working for PhD under his supervision. 1 student has submitted a thesis for PhD degree. He has published many research articles in reputed journals and proceedings of international conferences. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Honorable Vice Chancellor of 𝐂CS University, Meerut, Professor Sangeeta Shukla ji, Principal of the college, Vivekanand Ramakrishna Mission Vivekanand Centenary College, Kolkata, Dr. Kamala Nanda, Head of the Department of Mathematics, 𝐂CS University, Meerut, Professor 𝐂𝐶 Singh, 𝐼QAC Coordinator of the college, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekanand Centenary College, Kolkata, Dr. Pradyut Mehta sir, eminent resource persons, Dr. Mendes Jacob, Dr. Sunil Job, Dr. Suresh Nambudri, all faculty members of 𝐂CS University, Meerut, all faculty members of Ramakrishna Mission Vivekanand Centenary College, Kolkata, all faculty members all over India who have joined this FDP, and dear participants. On the occasion of inauguration of 7 days FDP on OBE, outcome-based education and essential AI tools for teachers, I extend my heartiest welcome to you all. I take this opportunity to express our sincere thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Sangeeta Shukla for motivating and encouraging us to organize this FDP. And also we are thankful to principal and other staff members of Ramakrishna Mission Vivekanand Centenary College, Kolkata, for collaborating for this FDP. I believe that the FDP will focus on some of the most important and advanced aspects of teaching learning, which are widely used in all over the world. I hope that after the successful completion of the FDP, all the participants, all the teachers will have deep insight and acquire new skills and knowledge in essential AI tools, which are nowadays necessary to know, and outcome-based education also. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your words. We will now have the keynote address by Professor Dr. Shivraj Singh, who is the HOD, Department of Mathematics, Chaudhary Charan Singh University, Meerut. Professor Dr. Shivraj Singh, he has received the Saraswati Award 2019 for the highest award by the UP state government for outstanding contribution in higher education in the university category. He has also received the Swan Jayanti Award for Best Research Paper at National Academic Sciences, India. Best Research Paper Award 4 times in international conferences. Excellent Teacher Award by the state government in 2022. National Vice President of Operation Research Society of India. He is also a member of the National Curriculum Framework and NCF Focus Group of NEP 2020. He has done more than 300 research papers in international and national journals. He's got 60 full-length research articles in international conference proceedings. He's got 4,690 Google Scholar citations, 13 books authored and published by reputed international publishers, chief editor and member of the editorial board for several international research journals. Is the resource person, session chair member for many national and international seminars, etc. He's got more than 28 years of teaching and research experience. He's got 25 PhD awarded under his supervision. He's got a Google Scholar All India Rank 1 in Vedic Maths and Operations Research. Research interest score in top 2% worldwide according to ResearchGate. He's got 4 patents published, and he's the member for various committees in university administration and also the member of many selection committees for teachers selection in universities. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me. First of all, I want to thank my Vice Chancellor for motivating us for such kind of FDP, which are very much essential. And I'm also thankful to Senior Professor, Professor M.K. Gupta. On behalf of Vice Chancellor, he is representing 𝐂CS University Meerut. And I hope that one of my colleagues, Professor Jaimala, she is in America, but still she is very much interested to learn outcome-based AI learning tools and all these. She is Dean Science of our university. She is also, I hope that in this gathering. And we have a very good department. Professor Mendes Jacob was a part of that. But I am proud to say that 2 faculty members of us are within 2% scientist list of Stanford University, Professor Mukesh Kumar Sharma and Professor Dr. Sharu Kumari. And we also have dynamic members like Dr. Sandeep Kumar. So we have a small department, but still we contribute in our area a lot. And Professor Mendes Jacob was here in 1991. We were classmates, and although at that time he had also a great potential for things. So out of the contest, I introduced myself, my relation with the Mendes Jacob. So in this activity, it was planned earlier, and due to some delay, it became late due to several reasons. But it was very much needed for all of us. In last year, we got NAC A++ grade, 3.68 score. So at Professor M.K. Gupta was 𝐂𝐶S coordinator at that time. So he was always motivating us to do some outcome-based things and all other such kind of activities so that we can have, there is some problem in network. So I may close my video at this time. So I know that there are several participants of our university, other department faculty members and teachers also in this group. So I welcome all, and it's not our own university program. It's a program, Professor Mendes told me that around 3,000 registrations are there for this. So it's a very huge number. So there may be faculty members from all over the world, and someone may be across of the world also. So on behalf of my department, my university, once again, I welcome all of you. And as far as the keynote address, I'm not a very much expert of this topic, but still as a professor, as a faculty member, I also understand that it is the era of globalization. And in this time, we find that traditional educational system is losing its relevance. As the NEP also suggested that we should be more flexible, more practical, and more interactive education system. So I think that in today's world, when everything changes very rapidly and continuously, so in such a time, much more skills are required to work with very fast developing technology. It's the need of the time. The educational institutions in such case should produce graduates to cope with more technological development. So, to overcome this requirement, it is very much mandatory to shift from traditional educational system to outcome-based education system, uh, which include program outcomes, program-specific outcomes, and course outcomes. When we arrange some board of studies, these are the essential features to taken into syllabus. What are the program outcomes? What are the program-specific outcomes? And what are the course outcomes? Initially, we just write it like copy and paste something, etc. But as Bloom taxonomy requires, how much is the attainment is achieved? So we require more specific work on all these factors. So we have taken guidance of Professor Mendes also in this direction. So outcome-based education is very much needed, and I think it is an approach in education in which decisions about the curriculums are driven by the outcomes. What should be the syllabus? It is driven by the outcome. The student should display all the end of the course professional knowledge, skills, abilities, values, and attitudes rather than an educational process. Outcome-based education system highlighted the fact that you have to know the final destinations of your journey before you start it. Earlier, we have note program outcomes, note program specific outcomes. Now, the student should know the syllabus, what will be the outcomes after getting his degree. In traditional teaching style, it was, we all know, we all are the part of it. It was teacher-centered earlier system, lectures, and moreover, it was curriculum-centered. We have a fixed curriculum and we need to complete it by any way. And traditional learning provides the learner with it lacks knowledge of skills and not all-round development of the student was not possible in traditional education system. That's why NEP suggested us outcome-based education system, which complete all the deficiencies of the traditional education system. Also, there was this big gap between formal education and training for a career in earlier education system. And there was only mark system and not the knowledge system in that part. The emphasis in the traditional system was on differentiation in the form of a broad variety of subjects. A teacher-centered, it was a teacher-centered approach rather than a learner-centered classroom approach. So we need to change such a system. That's why NEP suggested, but we all are not till date not very much familiar about this. What are the AI tools? How can we use them? Professor Mendes shown that how can we frame question paper which is based on program outcome, program specific outcomes, and we can frame question paper and we can map all the outcomes regarding that. So there is we all are traditional teachers, so we all need to be trained in such a system, and I think that this FDP will provide a very good platform for all of us to this, because to compete in a global economy in a highly technological era, every country requires a skilled workforce, a workforce or graduates or learners which can solve the problems, which are committed to ongoing learning. We need a more creative workforce, and we need a workforce which are very good in communication skills, which are very good in new technological development, a workforce which is flexible, workforce which can participate in management process and decision making. And we also need graduates which can work interactively. So outcome-based learning, perhaps I think that it will provide us a flexible environment-oriented approach to learning. And with that, it aims at equipping learners with the knowledge, competence, and orientation needed for success for the graduates after they leave institutions. So we need to learn a lot, and we need to transform our graduates from passive learners to active learners. And our approach of exam should not be exam driven, but continuous assessment should be there. And rote learning, which was earlier in our previous system, we need to replace rote learning by critical thinking, reasoning, reflections, and all kind of activity-based syllabus. And earlier we have a syllabus, I think, which is content-based and divided into subjects. Now we need some integrated syllabus. We should not have any kind of boundaries in the syllabus or stream or faculties. So all these things are only possible when we have such a system which is outcome-based learning, outcome-based education. So in this faculty development program, I hope that we will learn a lot about all these things. It was just some points I highlighted. In detail, we will learn a lot because there are technological experts, there are experts of this area who work. So we need to learn technology. So I hope and I am sure that it will be very beneficial for all the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for those words, Lord. Now we will go on to the next session, that is the vote of thanks. Now, just to remind you all, we have a technical session after the vote of thanks, so do please stay in for that as well. We will have a topic on learning domains today after the vote of thanks. Now we will move on to the vote of thanks that will be delivered by Dr. P.K. Mehta, who is the 𝐼QAC coordinator for Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Autonomous. Dr. Pradyot Kumar Mehta graduated with zoology honors from the University of Calcutta. He then did his PhD from University of Kalyani in the field of entomology. He has been teaching in Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, Ahmedabad, 36 years. He's presently associate professor and head of Department of Zoology, as well as 𝐼QAC coordinator of the college. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please proceed.
Today we had the inaugural session for national level 1 week online FDP on outcome-based education and essential AI tools for teachers, organized by 𝐼𝐾 Mission Vivekananda Centenary College in association with Department of Mathematics, Chaudhary Charan Singh University, Meerut, and co-hosted by IPSR Solutions Limited. Today this session began with the welcome speech given by Swami Vedanuragananda Maharaj, Controller of Education of this college. He spoke about the relation of human teaching capacity with the AI tools. He said that it will be more communicative for the students and teaching learning process will be improved with such modern tools like AI tools. So thanks to Maharaj for giving the welcome speech. Next, we heard the introduction of FDP from Dr. Mendes Jacob. Professor Jacob spoke about the FDP schedule, about the LMS. He said that also said about the education tools like ChatGPT, etc. He said that participants can create question papers, and also about that there will have a doubt clearing section. So thanks to Professor Jacob for giving this, talking about the introduction of FDP. Next, we heard from Professor M.K. Gupta. He gave his inaugural address. He gave thanks to all the resource persons and participants. He said that it is the most advanced technology of teaching learning process, and with these modern tools, the teachers will have deep knowledge through this method. Next, we heard the keynote address given by Professor Shivraj Singh. Professor Singh said about that, talked that educational system should be more practical, more interactive, and it is the need of the time to improve teaching, for which modern tools like AI tools are very essential. He spoke about the importance of outcome-based education, critical thinking, and reasoning. He said that traditional education is not sufficient today, so modern technology is needed. So thanks to Professor Singh for giving such exciting speech. I also thank Chaudhary Charan Singh University for being associated with the 𝐼𝐾 Mission Vivekananda Centenary College to organize this FDP program. I also thank all the dignitaries, resource persons, and the participants. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we will move on to the next session. That will be today's technical session, and the topic will be learning domains. This will be delivered by Dr. Sunil Job, who is the adjunct faculty, Marine College, Kottayam Autonomous, Chief of Academics, 𝐼PSR Solutions Limited, and is the alumnus of Chaudhary Charan Singh University. Now, Dr. Sunil Job has 30+ years of experience in teaching and 10+ years in corporate consultancy. He holds a PhD in mathematical education and has been an associate professor at MT University College of Teacher Education from 1999. He has started his career as assistant professor at Carmela Rani College, Training College, Column. He has served as visiting team member of NCTE for grant of recognition and as a resource person for the Affiliation Renewal Committee of MT University. He's an active blogger in the cutting edge technologies in IT education and data science. Dr. Job has published a few articles in national journals and authored a few academic books and a reference manual in mathematics. He has served as resource person for a number of faculty development programs in outcome-based education, data science, e-learning, etc. Currently serving as adjunct professor, Marine College, Kottayam Autonomous, and Chief of Academics, 𝐼PSR Solutions Limited. Over to you, sir.
So, thank you, Sajin, for your introduction. So, let me first confirm whether I am audible.
You're audible, sir.
Okay. So, first of all, let me extend my gratitude to the organizing committee of Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College for giving me an opportunity to be here and to interact with you. This technical section as well as for the upcoming section for tomorrow. Actually, I'm very much delighted to be a part of particularly this FDP program because as it is already mentioned, I am also an alumni of 𝐂CS University, and I had a very good educational experiences from 𝐂CS University from my ML program, MPhil program, as well as my PhD. So really, I feel much delighted to be a part of this segment because this program has been organized together with this Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Centenary College, together with 𝐂CS University. So I feel much proud to be here as the resource person. And obviously, we have been giving a lot of sections on outcome-based education for the last 1 or 2 years. And normally, in every sections, we start with this Bloom's taxonomy, because we know that Bloom's taxonomy is something very, very, very important when we perceive this in the lines of outcome-based education, because this is something very mandatory, which will guide you while we are going through the formulation of outcome-based education. So in the formulation phase, we'll be looking out for the PO, PSOs, what should be the course outcomes, curriculum, all these things. So if you want to have a clear-cut formulation of the curriculum in the lines of outcome-based education, this the Bloom's taxonomy is something very, very important. And obviously, the next phase is the teaching learning environment. That is how we interact with the students through the different curricular activities, how we can progress through the different projects in the lines of outcome-based education. This Bloom's taxonomy is something very, very important. And in the third phase, obviously the assessment phase, there also, if you want to assess the attainment of outcome in the lines of that is, if you want to attainment of outcome with respect to the different curricular activities, there also we need outcome this Bloom's taxonomy. So the Bloom's taxonomy is something a vital part in all the three phases, whether it is for the formulation or whether it is for the interactive, the teaching learning environment, or whether it is at the assessment phase. This is something very important. So without, because now we have already, it is already 8 o'clock, we'll be completing this segment by 9 o'clock. So without much, we will be directly going into our presentation. I have got few slides to share with you. So let me present the screen. So I let me because in order to eliminate the issues of network issues, I am just keeping my video closed, and let me try to share the screen. Okay, Sijin, I have got 2 questions, whether my screen is visible and my sound is okay.
Sound is okay. Proceed.
Okay, thank you. So we are set to move ahead. So this this segment is really focusing on a refresher segment on Bloom's taxonomy. I mentioned refresher section because obviously this Bloom's taxonomy will be familiar to most of the faculty, because this is something very, very important that helps you to drive the teaching learning experience in the right way. So even if you know the Bloom's taxonomy, this will be a refresher section, and that will be something very important to guide you through the other segments, which is what to follow in these FDP sections. So Bloom's taxonomy, obviously we know that this is something which has been given by Benjamin Bloom, and taxonomy is nothing but taxonomy is a classification. So what Benjamin Bloom tried to classify is that he has tried to classify the roadmap of learning. The roadmap of learning which progresses from simple to complex. So learning is something which happens in a hierarchy which progresses from simple to complex, or from concrete to abstract. That is how learning happens. So this roadmap of learning is being classified on the basis of different levels of learning, on the basis of the cognitive challenge that learning experiences poses on the learner. So that gives a clear and vivid picture on how the learning will progress. So without much, we can go into our presentations. So obviously, to begin with, it is always better, because this is something which has been related to the levels of learning. That's why I've just taken my first slide on what is learning. What is learning? And obviously, this will be the most simplest statement regarding what is learning. You can read from the slide. That is, learning is a process that leads to change. That is, learning is something which has been intended to bring about some change in the learner. So if you can take that word change, and you can just visualize our classroom activity. Suppose if you are going to teach a topic to the students in your class, definitely at the starting point of the class, the students will be definitely at an initial behavioral level. And after 1 hour of interacting with the students, with the different curricula which has been related to the class, and at the end of the class, the students' behavior will not be there in the same initial point. It will be elevated to a higher level. So what is the differences between the terminal behavior, that is the elevated behavior, and the behavior that was there when you have started the class? The difference, that is nothing but the outcome of that particular class. So outcome of that particular class is the difference between the terminal behavior that you have tried to bring the students, you try to elevate the students from the initial behavior. Suppose if you are given a course to handle, that is, you are handling one course, that is a paper for any program. So at the start of the this course, the students will be similarly having the same initial set of behavior. And by the end of the course, definitely they will not be there in the initial stage. After about 6 months of interactions, they will be elevated to a higher level. And what is the differences between the level that they have attained and the initial level? That the difference is nothing but the outcome of that course. We can call it simply as course outcome. So, and if you just take at a higher level, when the students are enrolled for a program, okay, for BSc Mathematics, the program, if the students have enrolled, definitely at the time of enrollment, they will be having the initial level, and after completing the course, they will be elevated to a higher level. The differences will be nothing but that they have attained through that program. That is nothing but the program outcome. So that change, I was mentioning about the change. The change can happen in a single class. The change can happen after completing of the entire course, that is a paper of a semester, or the change can happen after the completing the entire program. This change is, if you're taking from the program level, we could conceive it as program outcomes. If you're conceiving it from a paper level, a course level, you can call it as a course outcome. And if you're taking from a topic level, that is a topic that you're teaching in the class, that is intended topic level outcome. And for an outcome-based education, what we are doing is that we will be initializing this outcome first. We will be, that is, we proactively initialize this outcome first. And all that activities will be directed to the attainment of this outcome. That is the difference. So what is happening is that the things become very clear and concrete. What you have to do, the outcome is fixed first. What the students are capable of doing is been fixed first, and we are steering our activities, our curriculum, pedagogy, all these things for the attainment of this outcome that we have preset first. This is the essence, the soul of outcome-based education in the simple sense. So we have been referring to what is learning. Learning is a process that brings about change, definitely. And learning is a process that brings about desirable behavioral change in that individual. I will take that term, desirable. So the change that has been happening in the students is not accidental. That is deliberate. That is prefixed first. And learning is in a formal environment. Learning in a college means in a formal environment is steering the students through the desirable change. That is what learning brings about. So the expected goals of the curriculum in terms of demonstrated skills, knowledge is termed as learning objectives. So obviously, when we go for different sections, there is a mist of cloud which has been gathered around between what is outcome and what is objective. Actually, both these outcome and objective is viewing the same thing from two angles. Objective means it is from the point of view of the teachers. What is my intention? That is objective. And outcome is very precisely defining what should be the outcome of that objective from the student's point of view. So outcome is nothing but the objective made clear from the student's point of view. What the students are capable of doing, that is the outcome. So the outcome, when we say that objective, it is not clear. Our intentions, isn't it? And what should be the final product? What should be the final product is not clear when we say objective. When we are filtering out what the students are capable of doing from the student's point of view, we can view the same thing from the other angle of the student. We can call it as outcomes. So definitely in tomorrow's sections, we'll be drilling deeper into outcomes, different types of outcomes, different levels of outcomes, and brings more and more clarity to all these things. So now our matter of concern is on Bloom's taxonomy. So the gentleman smiling at you is nothing but is the Benjamin Bloom. I think you can just read that first statement, which is being said by Benjamin Bloom. And is it encouraging? What does it say? What any person in this world can learn. What any person in this world can learn. Almost all person means those persons who is not been there with some exceptional challenges. Almost all persons can learn if they are provided with appropriate prior and current condition. So this is something very important. Suppose if you want to teach something, a topic to the students, some prior knowledge is something very essential. So the learning happens in its best way if there is a connectivity between the prior essential knowledge and the current knowledge that you're teaching. So this is something very encouraging. That means anybody can learn. Anybody can learn if you are engineering the learning process in such a way that the current knowledge is correctly poised with the prior knowledge. And Bloom's taxonomy, it is at this junction Bloom's taxonomy comes relevant. The Bloom's taxonomy gives you clarity, gives you a leading light on what should be the prior knowledge to master the upcoming, the higher order knowledge. So the order of the taxonomy gives an order of learning, higher order, from lower order to higher order. So if you are able to identify this order and make it live in the classroom, definitely learning will happen. And I have mentioned about learning is a process that brings about change. I am again taking that word change. Taking that word change. The change can happen in three areas. What are the three areas? That is, change can happen on how we think. That is, the change can happen in the intellectual domain. That we can call it as cognitive domain. The change can happen on how we feel, how we set our emotions, how we set our attitude, isn't it? So that is something related to the affective domain. And the change can happen on how we perform motor skills. That is, driving is something which has been ruled by motor skill, isn't it? Typing, driving, dancing, all these things are something related to motor skills. So change can happen on this area, how we perform something. So these are the three areas where change can happen in an individual. So learning is something that brings about change, the change in the way in which you think, the change in the way in which you feel or set attitude, or the change can happen in the way in which you perform something. So these are the three areas of learning, And as I told you that the Bloom's taxonomy is something that gives a roadmap on how the learning happens in the intellectual domain from simple to complex, how affective domain progresses, and how psychomotor domain progresses, and what are the levels of learning in these three domains. That is what Bloom's taxonomy projects. That is what it is specified here. Bloom's taxonomy is a set of three. What is this three? Cognitive, affective, and psychomotor, the three areas of change. Three hierarchical models used to classify educational learning into the level of complexity and specificity. That is what the essence of Bloom's taxonomy is all about. And here we will be focusing more on cognitive domain, because cognitive domain is something related to knowledge. Because the intellectual ability will be steered and boosted with knowledge. Isn't it? Just like food will make the body healthy, it is the knowledge that makes the intellectual process healthy. So cognitive domain is something related to the intellectual ability, which will be steered by the acquisition of knowledge. Okay, so here for formulation of curriculum, we will be giving more priority to the cognitive domain, and affective domain and psychomotor domain will be embedded, will be coming as hidden curriculum in the curricular process. So we'll be moving more priority with the cognitive domain. Obviously, all these things will be very familiar to you. That is why I told that let this be a refresher section. So you can just see two arrows going both the sides. What does it signify? I told you that taxonomy, Bloom's taxonomy is classification of the roadmap between simple to complex. This is how learning happens. We have to start from the simple concrete aspect, and then we have to progress to the complex and abstract aspect. So this roadmap has been classified. This has been classified into different levels of hierarchy. So in cognitive domain, this is the hierarchy. The learning will begin with first remembering, then it will progress to understanding, then learn will progress to applying, progress further to analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So what are the mental constructs which has been happening at these levels? It has been very simply and briefly detailed here. At remembering level, how remembering happens? Remember, the word remember means to keep something in memory. So the first level of learning, the basic level of learning is just to keep something in memory. Because we are connected with the external world with the five senses. We see, whatever we see will come through our eye, through the retina, through the optic nerve. It will reach the cerebrum, and it will it will record it there. What we hear, it will come as sound wave, give vibrations in the eardrum, passes through Malasinga states. It will come to the auditory nerve, reach the central nervous system, and keep. So whatever comes through the external stimulus will reach our brain through our five senses. And at the first instance, it will be recorded as memory. So when memory level of learning happens, what happens is that you will be able to recall from memory. Even without knowing the meaning, you can stuff something into the memory and recall it by, just like we say that by hearting, cramming. It is something memory level of learning. The next level is understanding. And how understanding happens? That is when we put some intellectual thoughts into the stuff that we have kept into, that has reached our brain. If we are putting some intellectual activity through thinking process, we'll be able to explore the meaning of what we have perceived. The meaningful that is perception happens. So that what happens? Understanding. So suppose if you are teaching some concepts, Ohm's law or some laws, Stark's law, Ohm's laws, or whatever, something related to a subject, a conceptual thing will have some abstraction, some vagueness. It won't be direct. So first thing what the students do is that they may try to keep something in the memory, and then they will start thinking about this thing and try to extract memory, extract the meaning from the memory stuff. That is understanding. So when the student attains the understanding level, what happens is that the concept, they understood the concept, they understood the rule, they understood the theory, they understood the principles, they understood the concepts. So the concept learning happens. They understand the principles. When we say that they understood the principles, we can say that the concept level happens. So after knowing that meaning, the learning becomes productive only when we transfer the learning to some unfamiliar situations whereby we are able to solve. So transferring the knowledge to some unfamiliar situation is called applying, using informations in some unfamiliar situations. So you understood, you learned some theories, you learned some that is principles, you learn some concepts, and you are applying that concepts to some relevant situations. That is called application. And what is analyzing? Analyzing is also a higher end applications where we are dealing with a complex situations. When we are dealing with a complex situation, what is important? We will not be taking it as a whole. We will be breaking it into different components, and we will be applying our learned knowledge to these different components. So application will be happening, and we'll be trying to make some connections between these two components, these components that we have found out. So we will be trying out some associations. So that is analyzing. Suppose if you are you have made a computer program and it has it has some breakdown. There is some error that has happened. So what will we do? You will be just taking it into different components. That is the first module will be related to some activity. Second module like that will be segmenting the entire program into different sub-programs. And then we'll be identifying whether all these sub-programs are working. And then we'll be trying to bring connections together to identify what is really the problem and issue, and we'll be bug fixing it. It is through analysis, fragmenting it. Suppose if we want to make some comparisons to mobile phones, what you do? We will be fragmenting it into on the basis of different criteria. What is the cost factor? What is the life of battery? What is the performance of these videos? What is the performance of the sound? Likewise, you will be comparing it. That is breaking it into different criteria and then analyzing it. So this is what analyzing. And evaluating means something very closer to analysis. After analyzing, what we do, we'll be passing judgment. That is our judgment. That is evaluating. So evaluating means only after thorough analysis we'll be evaluating. Suppose if you are deputed to evaluate a dance performance, what we do is that you make a thorough analysis. Analysis in the sense, okay, how well is the steps of all the competitors? How is their costumes? How the songs, whether it is gone in way, whether they kept a record or they are given a live song to this. Likewise, you will be comparing the different the performance of these different participants on the basis of different criteria, splitting up the dance programs into different criteria and then making comparisons. And on the basis of comparisons, you will be giving what? You will be keeping judgment. You will be giving judgment that this is the best dance performance. So after analysis, you will be evaluating. That is judging the quality. That is what happened. And create level is the topmost level. In create level, you are creating something new. And how we can say that in a research, we know that in research methodology, our second chapter will be always research review of literature. What is the importance of review of literature? Normally, I used to see that that area is not given much priority. Actually, what I would say that this review of literature is the most important. Review of literature is the most important in the research process. That makes the research a quality research. Because by review, what you're doing is that you are evaluating what is the current status of the area that you are making research. So evaluating in the sense, what are the gaps? What is the necessity at that particular domain that you are making research? Only through the different works that has happened, you are analyzing it, and then you are evaluating that these are the gaps which is there. So these gaps has to be filled. So it is from that point, analysis, your evaluation, it is from that point you start your research creativity. So that will lead you to the most beneficial research or smart research. So review will give you an idea regarding what is the necessity there, what is the gaps that you found in the area. And necessity is the mother of invention. That will lead you to the right research field. So creativity will happen only after you make a thorough evaluation of these things. So normally when I go to for any these Viva project Viva, I will just ask what made you to, what is the result of your evaluations, what made you to select the topic, and what is the innovation that you have brought out. Innovation, that is your contribution, creativity that you have brought out in your studies. So this is how what you could say the learning should progress. So in the upcoming slides, I'll be just taking you through different use cases through which you will be able to identify questions which is related to these areas. So you can just say learning is a process engineered in such a way that one level is a prerequisite for the other, and learning takes place in a continuum. So this is something very important. Suppose if you want to make that is, if you want to divert your thought process, then that should be something come to your memory level. Then you can think about what is there in the memory that will give you the meaningful learning. And if you know only concept, you will be able to apply it. If you know the Charles law, Boyle's law, or Ohm's law, you'll be able to apply it in some relevant situations. So concept learning is important if you want to apply it. And for analysis, these you should be able to segment a complex situations into different compactable component, and apply it and find out. Likewise, evaluation. If you want to make a thorough evaluation, I told that for judging a dance form, a thorough evaluation is needed. And for creating a thorough evaluation will lead you to an idea regarding what is the shortcoming, what is the latest, what we have to go ahead for the next. So that is creating. So all these things are interconnected, and learning is something that should progress in this way. The learning happens, I would like to say that learning happens in a continuum from one step to other. That is what in the previous slide, everybody can learn if you are giving the right situations which connect the prior and current condition, isn't it? If you want to apply, thorough conceptual knowledge is important. If you want to analyze, you should be able to apply it in different components like that. So this is something very, very important. And now I'll be taking you little more granular level into identifying or formulating questions at this level. Actually, what is question? In a very simple terms, I would say that learning is nothing but bringing a connection between a stimulus and response. That is connectivity theory. So stimulus and response theory, bringing about a connection between stimulus and response. And every question is a stimulus. And for every stimulus, what is the right response? So we want to make the students respond rightly to the stimulus that should come, that is coming to them. So that is what learning, the learning theory the connections theory. So don't think about that. Just remembering level. I have trisected the slide into three. One, what are the demonstrated skills that will happen in each level? Because learning is something which has been happening in that individual, isn't it? It is not a covert behavior. It is something which has been happening into the individual, and we'll be able to identify whether the learning happens. It is from the response that the students do through the different stimulus. That is, the questions are nothing but the stimulus that would elicit some response from the students. And it is from the response we'll be able to identify whether the behavior has changed in accordance with the learning. So at the remembering level, we know that the students only know the ability to recall something, all these things. So these are the verbs that help to formulate questions that if you need, that will help to formulate questions at a remembering level. Remembering means memory level question. That will only test a memory level question. Suppose if I am asking the question, list the various domains in Bloom's taxonomy. I've taken the first question, Bloom's taxonomy, because we all know that Bloom's taxonomy, we are discussing about Bloom's taxonomy. So I think that question will be apt for all of us. So let me put that question. List various domains of Bloom's taxonomy. what can we get about this? We told that there are 3 domains. So if we say that, okay, cognitive domain, affective domain, psychomotor domain, you will be given full credit. The students are given a full credit. They only memorized. This question only want the students to memorize the domain, even without knowing what is there. Because I have explained to you about the different levels of cognitive domain. Okay, like remembering, understanding, etc., etc. But I didn't give details about affective domain. I didn't say that affective domain is something which progresses from receiving something, then responding, valuing, organizing, characterizing. These are the levels that happens in affective domain. I didn't explain it, but still you have answered it. Okay, psychomotor domain. It progresses like imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, naturalization. I didn't explain about these levels, but still you answered it. So these a remembering level question is something that only tests the ability of the student to remember something. Even if you are a PhD in Bloom's taxonomy, this question only demands your memory power, whether you are able to memorize cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Define multiculturalism. Define is something here. If I put a question like this, define. That is, you are restricting the freedom to express their thought. They have to write something which has been given by some sociologists regarding multiculturalism. That statement. I've seen teachers who are reducing marks for using different words in the definition. That is, this sociologist didn't say this word. He has used a different word. So you should not get the full mark. Or he has not given the definition in inverted commas or reducing the marks like that. These are the words by some persons. So these are the practices that we could see. So define means you are controlling the students. You want them to memorize what some person has said and write it as such. Or suppose if I say that list key components of GST, key components of GST. That is, even without knowing about what is GST, you will be able to list the key components. Like that is, there's goods and service taxes. That is the central GST or state GST or integrated GST or union territory GST, cess or input tax credit, or like that. You will be able to, without knowing what is this, you can answer that. So, or abbreviate GST, you can say that goods and service tax, even without knowing what is this tax and how they are calculated, you can answer this. So only remembering level is there. Understanding means you are going little more up. You understood the meaning, understood the information, grasped meaning. So now when you understood the meaning, you will be able to express the things by your own. That is something which is happening in understanding level. So these are the verbs that may help you to frame questions at understanding level, like describe, explain, paraphrase, restate. All these things will be helping you. The authority is the teachers. You can, so these are something tips helping you to frame questions at understanding level. So before I asked list the various domains. Now I am asking explain the various levels of learning in cognitive domain. So now if you want to answer this question, you should know how learning progresses in cognitive domain from remembering to creating level. So you will be explaining it. You will be able to explain only when you have a thorough knowledge about that. So that is the cognitive challenge. You should know the meaning. You should have a thorough understanding. So this question is something related to an understanding level. Suppose if I say, before I ask define, now I am given freedom. I have asked students to write, restate multiculturalism in your own words. So they will be able to put it in, when they put it in their own words, that becomes more meaningful. That becomes more meaningful. I've seen teachers, when they ask definitions, if they are writing in their own words, they are not giving marks. So this is a higher order learning. They'll be able to state something in their own words because they are understood, they grasp the meaning. That is it. And the previous question, in the previous question, I just asked about the components of GST. Now I ask them to summarize the process of computing GST for giving for a given transaction. So they should know what is the taxable part of the transactions. They should know what is the rate of GST. They should calculate the state GST. They should calculate the central GST, then aggregate GST, and whether cess is applicable. So likewise, they should know the process of calculating. So summarizing. So that is little more higher. Not listing the component. They have to give a detailed description on summarizing how they have calculated. So this is a little more higher understanding level. Applying means I told that now we have the concept, and this concept should be transferred to some unfamiliar situation, so that you will be able to solve the problems. So that is what applying means. So use method, the concept, law, theories, all these things you have understood it, and use it in a new situations for tackling some issues or problems or something like that. So solve problems using your required skills or knowledge that you already accumulated, you understood, you got some knowledge. Using that knowledge, you are going to solve some problems. So that is applying. So these are the verbs that helps you to formulate questions for under applying level. That is calculate, predict, solve, all these questions. So this will be available in the LMS. There is no need to write it down or take screenshots. Okay, that will be there. So our scenario, Bloom's taxonomy. Last slide, I asked to explain. Now I am asking to frame few questions related to each domain in your subject, cognitive domain. That is, I am asking, suppose if I ask you to formulate 2 questions from your subject, that is, I want to transfer what I am teaching Bloom's taxonomy. I want to transfer the knowledge of Bloom's taxonomy to your subject, and I want you to prepare 2 understanding level questions in your subject. So how will you do? So what is happening in the backend? You are transferring the knowledge of Bloom's taxonomy to the subject, and you are preparing 2 questions from your subjects, which will address the understanding level, or which will address the application level, or which will address the analyzing level. So what is happening here? It is applying Bloom's taxonomy to your subject and preparing questions at the different levels, right? So now multiculturalism. Illustrate few multiculturalist practices in your educational institutions. They understood multiculturalism, so they want to transfer the knowledge of multiculturalism to the educational system scenario, and they will try to illustrate. These are some of the multiculturalistic practices. So they will be able to illustrate it. That is transferring the concept and illustrating the different practices. This they are doing this because they are tolerant to all cultures, and they are respecting all cultures. Like that, they are able to pinpoint it. And now GST, they summarized it, how to calculate. Now demonstrate calculation of GST for a specific example. You are given them sale transactions, and you are asking them to calculate GST. So what is happening? Transferring the knowledge of calculation of GST to a transactional scenario, and they are calculating GST. This is what an application level, what has been happening. Coming to an analyzing level. Analyzing means we know that how to analyze. Breaking a complex system into different components, applying your knowledge to the different component, and trying to find out some relationship. That is what analysis means. Suppose if you are studying about human body, isn't it? Human body is a complex system. So in order to make it a specialized analysis, what we can do? We can break it into muscular system, nervous system, then we can skeleton system, and we can apply our knowledge, and then we can integrate it to identify some disease or ailment, how it affects the different system, and you can integrate for a specialized treatment. So that is analysis. So analysis, suppose analysis means breaking. So what is happening in analysis is that breaking down a complex problem into parts, identifying the relationship and interaction between the different parts. That is what analysis means. So suppose we know that we are familiar with in the science and chemistry laboratory, we often start at the initial level, salt analysis. What the students are doing? They are taking a small component of a small component of the salt. They will be performing the different types of tests, the nitrate test, like that, different types of tests. So they are compartmentalizing the salt into different unit, and then they are performing different tests, and they are consolidating these tests to find out what is the salt. That is analysis. So we are dealing with Bloom's taxonomy, right? So in the previous question, what I have suggested is that I have asked you to frame questions in your subject by using Bloom's taxonomy. So you use Bloom's taxonomy, apply Bloom's taxonomy for framing questions. Now I am asking is that I am giving you a set of questions. I am giving you a set of questions, and I want you to categorize them into different level. So what all questions are from understanding level? What all questions are from these application level? What all questions are from analytical level? I want you to categorize them on the basis of different levels. So what is that? What is that? You have to take one question, and then you have to test it whether it is going good with the understanding level, or remembering level, or analytical level, and finally you will be identifying this is. So what you are doing is that you are breaking the setting different criteria, and then you are testing it. That is analysis. So so in analyzing, you can compare the approaches of multicultural practices in two countries. So you learned multiculturalistic practices, you know multiculturalist practices. Now you are trying to compare the multiculturalistic practices of two countries. So in the two countries, what you could say that, okay, the practices in the form of government, the practices in the form of the constitution, the practices in the form of the judiciary, the practice. So likewise, you can split it into different components, and then you can make comparisons, compare and contrast GST and VAT, highlight the key differences. So there also you can break it into different category, and then you can make comparisons. So that is what analysis. So normally analysis and evaluation are so close to each other. So after analysis, you are passing your final judgment. Here you are in the level of a judge. So in the that is when we come to the level of a judge, we have to know the entire scenario, and on the basis of our rationals and criteria, we will be judging what has happened. So this is what evaluation means. So for a authentic evaluation, there should be a thorough analysis and then passing judgment. So compare and discriminate between ideas, assess the values of theories and presentations, make choice-based reason, verify value of evidence. All these things are the cognitive processes that cognitive demonstrated skill that is being projected in evaluating. So these are the verbs that could use: assess, decide. So deciding on the basis of the positives and negative, choosing. There also, if you want to make a choice, definitely you will be studying about the pros and cons. Ranking, all these things are something related to what you could say evaluating. Ranking, obviously we know that we are familiar with the NIR of ranking, right? We know that the Human Resource Ministry every year collect the SSR report from all the colleges and from different categories like university, arts and science, medical, engineering, like that. And they will be assessing. They will be evaluating the performance of the colleges on the basis of different criteria like teaching, learning, researches, and in the NR of up to perceptions there. And they'll be giving they will be analyzing their performance in each of this, and they'll be giving scores and aggregate scores. They'll be ranking it. And ranking means they'll be saying that, oh, this is the top college. If you are taking engineering college, the top engineering college is IIT Madras, or Arts and Science College, okay, Mirinda House, number 1. So that is evaluating. So evaluation happens after a thorough analysis about their performance on the basis of different criteria. So analysis means split up into different criteria, analyzing it, and then on the basis of analysis, you are passing the judgment. Okay, so now here you can say that with respect to that Bloom's taxonomy, that suppose if I ask a question, do you think you could prepare questions of all levels of Bloom's taxonomy in the subject? And the important thing is that justify. So suppose if you want to justify what is needed is that there is a need for thorough analysis. That is, a thorough analysis is essential for justifications, isn't it? Suppose if you say, okay, sir, this is not, the Bloom's taxonomy is not correctly working for my scenario, then definitely what happens is that I will ask justify. So if you want to justify it, you should know Bloom's taxonomy. You should have applied Bloom's taxonomy at different relevant situations. Then only you will be able to make such a remark, isn't it? Not a blind remark. You should know Bloom's taxonomy. You should apply Bloom's taxonomy. You should apply it in different scenarios, different angles, analyze it. Then only you will be able to pass such a judgment. So it will come up to evaluate, isn't it? And next one, evaluate the impact of multicultural practices in your country. So you know multicultural practices, and if you want to evaluate it, if you want to evaluate the impact, obviously you want to analyze it, and on the basis of that, you can pass your judgment. Okay, evaluate which tax, GST or VAT you believe better. Considering the advantages and disadvantages. So if you want to know the advantages and disadvantages, you have to analyze it. And on the basis of analysis, you will be able to identify which one is better. Your remark. So you will be identifying, you will be analyzing both the systems, and then you will be presenting out the advantages of both and the disadvantages of both. And on the lines of these advantages and disadvantages, this one is better. So that is evaluation. And creating means going out of the box. That is not sticking up with what is already there, isn't it? You have to go explore and identify some new things and contribute to the that is the bank of knowledge. That is the research. All these things are something creating. So in the normal examinations for a 2-hour or 3-hour examinations, we will not be. It is not. That is justified to include create level question. It is an absurdity, because the create level question is something that has to evolve from the his detailed drilling into the topic, identifying, and they will be having his own contribution. So it is not advisable to set a unique scheme of valuation for that, or it is not possible to for 2 hours you will not be able to create something. So that is why in the higher education scenario, we are including projects, assignments, in order to bring a higher order thinking skills or higher order learning in the students. So for creating, what is that we have to use old ideas to create new ones. Old ideas, combine parts to make a new whole. So I've given 2 scenarios. This is analysis. That is, this is a complex situation. We have broken into different component, and then applying it our knowledge into these components and trying to find out relationship. In a PhD, what is analysis? We'll be setting some objectives, and these objectives will be divided into different sub-objectives, and for each sub-objectives we'll be having different tabular columns, and we'll be analyzing it from different angles, different parameters, and then we'll be consolidating and answer that particular objective. So analysis is that breaking it into different component, but applying our knowledge and then answering it. And creating means combining our old knowledge to create something new. So that is why evaluation is something more important for creating. That is why we are going with the review of literature. Review of literature is that we are analyzing what is there in the current domain. You are evaluating what is the gaps which is there in the current domain, and that will steer your research process into some productive, a new thing which is needed for filling the gaps of the previous works. That is how it should progress. So evaluation is something, necessity is something important for steering your thoughts for some new inventions. So that is how it should progress. So in the previous slide, I asked you whether this Bloom's taxonomy is compatible for your topic, you told that no, sir, it is not. It is having such and such limitations. So what next? We have to go for a new classification model that will answer your problem, isn't it? That is how creation should happen. Okay, so this develop a proposal for a community-based initiative that aim to embrace multiculturalism. So this is taking it to a functional level. You are giving a proposal for a new community, a new type of initiative, for embracing multiculturalism. There we have analyzed both advantages and disadvantages of both GST and VAT. So what next? Develop a new taxation model. That incorporate the strength of both the GST and VAT, isn't it? So that is how innovation should happen, isn't it? So the VAT will be having many advantages. GST will be having more advantages. Combining these advantages, you are creating a new one, which is more better than this. So that is how the research and the knowledge domain will keep on progressing. So this is how the Bloom's taxonomy. So it is a roadmap. We have started from rote memorization, and we have reached to the highest level of learning, that is contributing some new knowledge to the bank of the domain that we are been learning with. So this is Bloom's taxonomy's cognitive domain. And now, so obviously we know that educational policy in 2020, we are moving to autonomy, because so every institutions will be converted either a standalone or as a cluster will be converted into an autonomous institution. So that definitely we have got our own voices for formulation of curriculums as well as these assessment systems. And not only that, I would like to say that one of the most simplest way of enhancing the quality of the educational institution of system is just elevate the level of assessments. That is, don't go and keep all the assessment to the lower order, not testing their basic understanding. If you are elevating the assessment system to higher order thinking skills, to application level, analytical level, evaluation level, so if you're taking it to the higher order, definitely the students will be bound to reach that particular order. And when the students reach the higher order thinking skills, they will be passing out of the education institution as productive entrepreneurs, scholars, which can contribute to the society. So the most easiest way is to increase the quality of an educational system is to enhance the quality of the assessment. For enhancing the quality, not the look and feel of the question paper, but the stuff that you're including it in the assessment tools should go to a higher order. That do not mean that all the questions should go to the higher order. No. You should give better representation for lower order conceptual level understanding should be tested, and also higher order also should be prioritized. So when we are going with the autonomy, you can have we can have policies that about 50% from lower order thinking skills and 50% from higher order thinking skills, or you can have policy that for each level of taxonomy you can have its own share that should be reflected in the assessment tools. So that all depends upon. So all these examination reforms often says that it is high time for us to move away from the traditional way of testing the students at a conceptual level or understanding level to the higher order thinking skills. That makes the education system more productive. So now we will just I've got few questions to share with you just to test your understanding. This is a question which I would like to know from you that which level this addresses. This question addresses. If it is K1, if it is understanding level, if it is remembering level, you can put K1, knowledge K1 level, understanding K2, applying K3, likewise analyzing K4, then this one, evaluating K5 and creating K6. So let me open another chat, because now I am not able to see the chat here. So you can put it in chat. You can put it in chat. So here, let me check. Let me log in from another ID so that I can view both together. So here, the question here is the student learned from notes. The student learned from notes. What? The answer to the question. The answer to the question: analyze the motives of speech by Mark Antony in Shakespearean play Julius Caesar. Obviously, by seeing this, we will think that this is an analytical question. I was just checking where's the chat. Please wait. Okay, let me check the chat here. The chat is not active here. Okay, so I will just give it like this. This is an understanding level question because the question is analytical. There is no doubt. There is no doubt. Isn't it? Analyze the motives of speech by Mark Antony in Shakespearean play. But what is the scenario? You have already given the answer to this question. So is the students analyzing the same answer? No. They are not analyzing the scenario. They have just taken the product that you've given. They have read it. They have understood. And then actually it is, if they are by-hearted, it is only a K1. But I have given that they gives a perfect answer to the question in their own words. A perfect answer to the question in their own words. When they are putting it in their own words, they understood it. So it is only a K2. So actually what is happened is that the question itself is an analytical level question, but you killed that question and brought down to an understanding level question. So if you can give notes for up to understanding level and application level and other things, it should be brought to the cognitive challenge of the students. It is their cognitive process which should work for answering such a questions. So if you are directly giving the printed notes for all the higher order questions, it will be not an higher order. It will be just an understanding because they are not putting the brain or cognitive processes to answer the questions. It will be just like that. Tomorrow, if you are asking I'll be just giving an example. Suppose if I'm telling my student that tomorrow you will be having a surprise test. Will there be any surprise tomorrow? I am telling that if I want to give a surprise test, it should be a surprise to the students. Suppose if I am announcing today that tomorrow I'll be giving a surprise test. So there is no surprise tomorrow. There will be knowing that there will be a test. It will be just like same. Analyze means it is an analytical thing, but you are giving the answer. You are not making the students analyzing. So you are killing that analytical level and bringing it down. I think you got it clear. I'll just put some simple things so that it will be, you can take it commonly. That is it. Find the volume of the cube when one of the side is known. So obviously you can put it in chat, but my chat is not active here. That is why I cannot see it. My chat is not active. Okay, so you can answer it. Find the volume of the cube when one of the side is known. So it is a common practice when some calculations get involved. we say that it is application. But here, what is it? We know that a cube has got all the sides of equal dimension. So the volume is side into side into side. That is the formula: side into side into side. S cube. And if you are instead of that side, you are putting the value. If you are substituting the value, suppose if I say that side 10 instead of side, I'll put 10 into 10 to 10, 1000 cubic unit. So there, it is only just an understanding or even a memory level question. You memorize the formula, substituted what that value, and got that answer. That is only a memory level, or even if you want to put it understanding level. Okay, that is only a memory understanding level question, isn't it? That is why I told that if you want to apply, that means you have to transfer your understanding to an unfamiliar situation, then only it will be an application level. Suppose if you are asking that what is the time for filling up a cubical tank if the water is flowing at this rate? There it is at the rate of this much liters per hour. If I'm giving a rate like that, how much time it will take to fill the tank? There it is something application. This is a scenario. There you have to find the volume of the tank, isn't it? There you have applied that volume. And then what volume every second at what every minute, how much volume will be covered up, so that you can calculate the time. So this is a small analytical type question. So here this is only a K1 or K2 understanding level. The student is asked to conduct an experiment and examine the result of that experiment and records conclusion. Just like salt analysis. Okay, obviously it is an analytical type questions. Then debate the pros and cons of net banking. Debate. Okay, so obviously if you want to debate, you should know what is net banking, isn't it? You have to analyze the different aspects, and you have to bring out the merit, or these are the merits of net banking, these are the demerits of net banking. So you have to evaluate this net banking from different angles. So that is an evaluation type question. Next, the following: invention and inventor, book and author, isn't it? You're matching it. What level? It is just a K1 level. It is just a K1 level. Because suppose if I ask them, who is the author of this bank? The students say that, okay, it is a Shakespearean play. It is written by Shakespeare. So even without reading the book Macbeth, they'll be able to answer that GK question, isn't it? Name or list or name the author or name the invention, even without knowing what is implicit in that invention, they'll be able to answer this. So it is just that question only demand memorization of the name of the inventor, not going into detail about the invention, isn't it? So it is a K1. Okay, created. No, this you don't answer. We have already answered it, previously. A new classification model for learning objective. We told that Bloom's taxonomy is not completely answering my issues, so I asked you to create something new. Okay. So now we have got a task which has been showcased in the LMS. So the task is something related to question paper analysis. So question analysis means what? Bloom's taxonomy analysis means at a K4 level. So what you have to do is that you have to take one of the previous year question paper on the subject that you are handling. Previous year question paper. You can enter here. Program name. Program name in the sense, okay, if it is BSc Maths, course name. Okay, if it is linear algebra, okay, or topology, or whatever it may be, complex analysis, you can put that name here. Year and semester. Okay, so here, question paper, normally we have question paper, questions are distributed in sections. So if you're taking the questions, first section A. read the question. Now, I think you are master for identifying which level that question will address. So suppose if the first question, it is of a 10-mark question, it is an analytical question, you can put analysis. Okay, there is another second question. It's also from A. It is about an application level question, and it is again of 10 marks, isn't it? So you can put it like this. Application level. Now you're going to section B. That question is of 5 marks. So it is again an understanding level question, 5 marks. So how you have to write it? You have to read first question, the section name. It is given as a drop down here. Read the question. You have to identify which level that question addresses. There is a drop down. You can put that drop down here. You can put the drop down here, and then you can enter the marks. And you can go like this. So here you will be getting, this is an automated Excel sheet which has been prepared by me. It is available at the LMS. So here you can get it. Okay, what percentage questions? So here we got 80% questions are from applying, and 20% questions are from what you could say understanding. And if I'm putting this one as analyzing, okay, analyzing questions. So likewise, you can categorize it. So by looking at this one, you will be able to identify what percentage of questions is from higher order and what percentage of questions are from lower order. Like that, you will be able to identify it. And you can able to give your remark here, whether the question paper is apt. You can enter your evaluation also. So this is a task which comes up to an evaluation level in your paper. So you can take any question paper. What you have to do is that you can enter the Bloom's level of each questions here, and the marks you have to enter manually. So all these things will be automated here. By looking at this, you will be able to what you can say analyze, and you can put your remark there. So this will be available in your LMS. So I think we have reached 9 o'clock and we completed these presentations, and now the floor is open for posing any questions. And it is over to Sijin for taking any questions. I cannot have the chat here.
Yeah, I will see if there are any questions on the if you have any questions towards, if you have any questions for Dr. Sunil Job, please ask, and we will ask in the chat box, and we will take it up. The PPTs and everything will be there in the, it's not the PPTs, the recording of the video will be there in the LMS. There's a question, how can we use Bloom's taxonomy in our research?
Obviously, the Bloom's taxonomy is a hierarchy which projects how learning will happen. And in your research is something which has been happening at a create level. That is, after a thorough analysis of the area that you are conducting research, you will be getting an idea regarding what is the shortcomings, or what is the gaps which is there in the domain that you are doing research. And from there, you'll be able to go to how can you fill that gap. So in a research process, you will be able to take your research in such a way that after a thorough evaluation, you will be able to bring something new. So that will how the Bloom's taxonomy will guide you to the next create level. Okay.
What should be the Bloom's taxonomy level for PG and UG program question paper?
The Bloom's taxonomy normally that is for a PG and a UG question paper, you can come up to maximum an analytical or evaluation level. So obviously it is the decision of the academic council that is to what level you have to include. That is a decision, but it is a good practice to include about 40 to 50% from lower order thinking skills, that is up to this application level, or 40 to 50% up to application level, and then to analytical and evaluation level, especially in the PG level, because we want to take the courses or your learning to a functional level. So that is something very important. You should not be restricted to what you could say at a lower order. So you can have policy that up to 30 to 40% up to understanding level, then understanding application level questions about 30%. So total 70% and 30% from analysis and evaluation level. All these percentages you can fix it. You can fix it. And if you have an automated question paper generation system, you can feed your requirement, the blueprint, so that it will be preparing or retrieving questions from these levels. So you can have policy like 40% from up to understanding level, conceptual level questions, 30% in the application level, and 30% from analytical and evaluation level. And normally create level question is not suitable for exam for 3 hours, because you will not be able to research about a new system and develop a new system and write its findings in the in 2 hour or 3 hour examination. So that is not practicable. So you can come up to evaluative level. Okay. Okay, Sajan, but chat is not open to me. I cannot see chat.
Yeah, I'm asking them to try to sort it out. I don't know even.
Actually, I was trying to get that response from the participants regarding the questions that I've been asking.
Okay.
But I cannot read the chat.
Okay,
so
okay.
That's why I just explained.
Well, 1 second, Sunil Job. So are you checking? Can you check this on your mobile?
Actually, no, you can now read it. Now the entire thing is closed.
I will read it. I will read it. No problem. We can, if you want, you can also check in the see if it is there. I can see that in your PC. You cannot see. Anyway, I'll read it. What is the percentage of every criteria in the question paper?
The percentage is, you can fix it from your college level. That is the right practice from the academic council. And the percentage is what I have just mentioned in the previous. That is up to 40%. You should include some lower order, because that is the foundation, the knowledge. And then you can include about 30% application level and 30% in the analysis and evaluation level. But all these things depends upon the nature of your paper that you're handling. If the paper do not have that much of questions to be included in an evaluation level, you can reframe. You can make the blueprint accordingly. So this is something that has to be tested, or the decision should be taken from the part of the teachers and the institutions. And what I've mentioned is a good practice to give representations to all the levels. Normally, what we say is that higher order has been totally neglected. What we recommend is that not we, the higher, this is examination commissions also recommend that give appropriate, I repeat, appropriate priority to higher order. Because if you want to increase the quality of the assessment system, higher order questions has to be given priority. And if you are giving priority to higher order, your assessment will go higher, so that the students' quality also will go higher. Okay, go ahead, Sajan.
Okay, there's a question. What is for how to get access to LMS portal? See, for getting access to LMS portal, you need to make the payment of rupees 500 to the bank account details that I have provided in the chat box. Okay, once that is done, you need to give the payment proof to us or the screenshot to the mobile number that is given there. That's 90205 Once that is done, they will verify it and send the LMS access details mail to the email that you had used for registering for this FTP. Is there any guidelines regarding how many marks to be allocated for question for each level of Bloom's? Can we apply type question 2 marks?
This is what I have been answering for the previous two questions. There is no guidelines as such that could be prepared by the academic council. Or if it is an autonomous, you can prepare guidelines. But it is a best practices only we suggest that give appropriate representations for the higher order. There is no hard and fast rules that this much of questions should be there from this, because this has got different capacity. So depending upon the capacities of the different papers, you have to identify. And our intention is that whatever possible within the limitation of the paper, you have to take the students to the higher order, isn't it? Because in an introductory topic, you will not be able to take the students to the analytical level. So within the possibility of the paper, you can identify. There is no hard and fast rules for that. So it is a good practice, we repeat, good practice to take appropriate representations for higher order also. That do not mean that total neglecting the lower order. Lower order is important, that's the base, and higher order should shoot from the base. So don't keep everything in the lower order. That is the suggestions that not only we, almost these higher these education councils often says that, examination reforms often says that bringing the students to higher order thinking skills, isn't it? Knowledge, understanding our lower order thinking skills. Bringing them to the higher order thinking skills means they should develop the ability to apply analyzing. That is where higher order begins. Analyzing something, evaluating something, creating something. And normally we know that when we go with the new education policy 2020 integrated programs, if you want to go for honors in degree, the 4th year is totally dedicated for higher order. That is for research level, isn't it? So that is being given prioritized in our educational higher education scenario of today. So this is something very important. We have to go that is over the conceptual knowledge to the functional knowledge. Okay.
Is there any relation between Bloom's taxonomy, rubrics, and weightage of marks?
Bloom's taxonomy, rubrics, and weightage of
marks.
No, that means the weightage of marks is given on the basis of the sections that you include. Normally, when the Bloom's taxonomy sections goes higher, when you go to an application level or go to an analytical level or evaluation level, definitely that will pose higher order. That will pose more cognitive challenge in the learner. So when more cognitive challenge is being given to the learner, it is a normal practice to give more weightage to the questions which is coming at the higher order. That is with respect to the marks. Suppose if you are just for a remembering level question, if you are given or if you are understanding level question, and for an application or for an analytical level question, analytical level question will judge the higher order of learning. Suppose if you are taking the marks as a measure for measuring the higher order, the level of learning. I repeat, suppose if you are taking the mark as an measure to measure the level of learning, obviously it is sure that for higher order questions, you should give more weightage. That is something important, because exams is something that want to assess the students to what level that they have attained. So obviously, when we're putting higher order questions, it should have more weightage and marks. That is the common logic that we could apply in giving marks. Okay. Okay, Sijin, go ahead. Is there any other questions?
Just checking through. Okay, there's some questions in YouTube. Can evaluation questions be asked in semester exams?
That is, which type of questions to be asked depend upon the students or the paper that you are handling, and it is absolutely that is the authority to the teachers. That is, if you are dealing with a topic at a higher order, and the curriculum has attained at that particular level of maturation to answer the evaluation questions, you could include. So at an introductory level, if the semester exam is at an introductory level, you cannot, it is not right to give, when you're trying to introduce a concept, it is not right to give an evaluation level question. That depends upon the how mature is the topic that you are handling, what level you have attained. Is it apt for giving an evaluation question? It should be decided by the teacher according to the scenario that you handle. Isn't it? There is no what you could say prefixed mechanism to decide such things. So if you are handling at that level, a level where you are able to give evaluation question, definitely you can. But so that all depends upon where you are in the curricular frame. Okay.
Okay. There's a question. If we can we use two Bloom's taxonomy level in a single question?
Can we use two Bloom's taxonomy level in a single question? Obviously, you can use, but the thing is that when the question becomes an analytical level, definitely that will be rated at an analytical level because it comes at an hierarchy. So you can use what is it, and you are testing it together with what of an application also. You are given an application. So in effect, that questions could be included as an application level because it is testing the students up to that level. So there is no issues. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine there.
And one more thing I would like to add to that. Normally, if you just think a logic, if you're asking what is GST, okay, what is GST? So they will be writing what is GST, and you're giving a question to calculate GST. So without knowing what is GST, how can they calculate GST? So normally it is a common way that when you put that question, the first question is irrelevant because they are calculating the GST as a whole in that question. So in that question before, if you're asking what is GST, it is not relevant, but the choice is used. So when we put in higher order, definitely the other thing will come in automatically inside it, isn't it? That is why the level of learning goes that in a hierarchy. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. For maths practical questions, how to allot marks? How many marks for formula, application, simplification, etc.?
All these things could be decided from the college level and the teacher level, isn't it? How much percentage questions for formula, for theorem, for principles, that could be decided from the college level, from the teacher level. Okay, so if you're just giving some theoretical, as I've told that if it is at an application level, you could include 30%, and at the higher level 30%. Everything is decided, could be decided from your level. That depends upon the possibility of the paper. Okay.
Just by using the verbs under the Bloom's taxonomy does necessarily indicate that the question falls under the particular level. Is it? Suppose an
The
evaluate
verb,
or analyze.
the
Suppose an
verb is
evaluate.
something. So actually, don't think that the verb is something that help you to frame the question, isn't it? Suppose if I'm using the verb identify, suppose if I ask the child to identify apple and orange, by its shape they identify. So that identifies an understanding level. Suppose if I ask a question, salt analysis, that identify, that is an analytical level. The same verb can come at a different level, and these verbs are given to you only for a say that an assistance, and it is the teacher who are framing questions should think about. If I including this, the verb is not something that takes the question. It is the teacher who are framing the question should decide what cognitive challenge this question will bring upon the learner. Whether he's been applying something, or whether he's been analyzing something, or whether with the conceptual knowledge he's been doing the things. It is something decided by the teacher. And verbs are only something that is only a helping hand. It is not the ultimate truth. I could say that in that way. It is not the ultimate truth that if you use this verb, this is statement. It is only something that help you. Normally, these verbs will be help you to create questions. And what level the question is should be decided by the person who are putting the question. The person who are putting the question should identify what cognitive challenge this question will bring in the learner. The cognitive challenge in the sense whether he's been trying to applying it, whether he's been trying to analyzing it. The questions, what we could say, the verbal statement of the question is only an art of writing a question, and for this the verb will assist you, only a form of assistance, isn't it? So when you're framing the questions, what should come into the mind? What the students' cognitive challenge is being tested. How the students will be able to respond, whether it is been able to respond it by analyzing, or whether by direct application, or by memorizing it. What is he going to do? On the basis of that only, we will be able to identify it. Okay. So I think it is already about 9:25. It's for a long time they are waiting. I think we could conclude, and if you have any more doubts, the LMS, there is an active forum which has been working. So you can post your questions in the LMS so that not only me, but also all the participants who are there availing the LMS can share that experiences. We can have a collaborative learning. The learning happens best when we collaborate our ideas. Different ideas, different experiences. When we collaborate, we will become more and more enriched with ideas. So that will be more better. So, okay. So I think today we could conclude it because time is going to be 9:30. And I'll be again with you tomorrow also. We'll be going into an introductory stage of outcome-based education tomorrow. Okay. So have a pleasant evening. Good night.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Sunil sir. We will see you tomorrow again. Tomorrow we will have a session on OBE architecture. Please join in for that. Tomorrow we will start sharp at 7 p.m. Please join in on time so that we can start with the session. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for taking your time to attend this FDP. We will see you tomorrow then. Thank you all and have a pleasant evening.